Cool. And 3, 2, and 1.
Yo, this is Staff Sergeant Mac. We're sitting down at the annual in Denver, Colorado. This is the Big Green DAO's Power Plant podcast. Unfortunately, my co-guest is not here right now. He's scheming on a class that we're going to be doing together later surrounding agro-tech. But I have two, I don't know, victims that just walked in. They just walked on in here. It's just natural. And we're going to build off of that. But please introduce yourselves, your organization, where are you from?
Oh, I can start. My name is Joseph, and I am the Marketing and Development Manager at Gardeneers, a organization in Chicago, and this is my coworker, Paris.
I'm Paris Monaghan, the Director of Partnerships for the organization. Like Joseph said, we're out of Chicago. We do environmental nutrition education for CPS students.
The shy in-house. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, is it a significant temperature change for you guys coming down here? Or should I say coming up here? We're a mile high.
It's similar weather, but you guys are kind of more drastic in your weather from the morning.
Like in the same day, which is kind of crazy. I feel like for us, it's definitely still warmer than seasonally warmer than usual. But like I was not expecting it to be like 45 on the walk here this morning.
Welcome to the Monaghan. So I got some questions here for you guys.
What's up?
I want to give you guys an opportunity to give us a little moonshot. Like I really want to feature your work, okay? And this upcoming year, like, what does that look like for you guys? Is there particular projects that are going on? Like, what's your vision for the future coming up? Just let's start with like something small, like 2 months out or 3, however you want to do that.
So I think the biggest thing for us this year is we turned 10. We have had the honor of serving our communities for a decade.
10 years.
10 years of growing food. And we're finally back to pre-pandemic production numbers. So in our 10th year, we're growing 10,000 pounds of food. And we're just so proud of the team that we've been able to pull together.
I'm sorry. Did you just say 10,000 pounds a year?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
School, garden, youth-led growing. They're in there, they're getting their hands dirty, they're trying new foods, and they're working hard.
Wow. That's impressive.
Like over 22 sites around the city we have. So
Yeah, about 3,500 students that we're serving.
That's amazing. So, I'm not from the Chi. I love the Chi though. I've been there, Millennium Park, I hit all the touristy spots. And then, I crossed over into Southwest Chicago. There's a little river there. And like, as soon as you cross over that river, like, you in the hood.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
It's the real deal. And you know what? Unfortunately for me, my particular style of clothing kind of I stick out a little bit.
Right.
So when I crossed over that water, I got a nice warm welcome.
We actually have some like cowboys on the south side that were like getting criticism for like riding their horses up and down like a major street, Stony Island. But I'm sure like they're just drawn to like the cowboy hat.
That's what I'm talking about. Concrete cowboys gotta represent. That's good to know that the Chi's got that. So let's say this, in your garden, you could put a sign in one of those gardens. What would that garden sign say?
that is a good question. It could be at any of our gardens.
Any garden. It's all y'all.
I think it would be our pillars. I think they're so pivotal to everything that we do. We have full educational programs, right, and they are centered around community stewardship. So definitely community, nutrition, nature, right? Since we're able to create our own curriculum, we partner with so many amazing community members and organizations. I think it's really important that we just we're steadfast in that. We were actually in a strategic planning session right before this, and she's just talking about clarity on your mission and really being focused in that. And I feel like that is something that our CEO Selma has really helped us maintain. Like that's the first thing that you do when we go into a garden. We're like, all right, kids, you're gonna learn like what our pillars are.
So the pillars are
nature, community, and nutrition.
Nature, community, and nutrition.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask.
on the sign.
On the sign, but what does that mean to you though? You know what I mean? Like what got you into this, man?
Right.
We got some time here.
Wow.
I'm gonna assume we have a little bit of time here.
I think both of our stories are different.
But that's good. I wanna hear it.
I've been with the organization for a year already, and I started as a AmeriCorps member, so I was a volunteer at the organization. And what got me involved was it just happened because I already had friends involved in the organization, so it was just a collective, similar mindset type people where we want to do some change around in our communities. We want to see representation in our communities. So I naturally just gravitated, but the more I started to learn about the work of Gardeneers and the things we do on a daily basis, it totally completely changed my mind, and that's why I wanted to be more involved in the organization. So
That's why he stayed.
yeah, that's why I stayed.
I'm gonna come back to you about that because we were talking about like volunteer and staff burnout and stuff like that. These are all real things, and I want to come back to touch that.
Please, because I just want to say that Gardeneers is a really good example of the way we treat volunteers and the capacity we have for our staff members, and I think it's very mindful to like keep that, especially when you want to talk about what is the word? I can't think of it, but retention.
Yeah.
Retention. Like our retention is almost 100%, and that even involves our AmeriCorps members, which serve many hours every week, and we're still able to maintain that just because we have a great way to keep people engaged and also give them the time that they need off.
Don't mess around and have me living out in Chicago and working for y'all, okay?
Mine is very different. So I went to school for environmental science.
Where at?
In Chicago. I'm a U of I alum, Champaign, Urbana. And I'm in school and I'm going through, I had just transitioned. I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor, right? But then I was not prepared, I think, for some of the things that came along with that. But I wanted something that was still STEM-based, right? So I went into environmental science. I have a background in, my dad is from Haiti, so I knew about and grew up around farming. But also I have like a lot of grassroots family members, so definitely community advocacy is really important to me. So I was looking for like what is going to be this intersection of like what I'm learning in school, but some things that are just important to me. I grew up on the South Side, so being able to like serve those communities, like, that's something I wanted to do. But I was just like, I can't do corporate, like I'm not that girly. So I'm sitting at home with a friend of mine, we're co-working, and I see a sticker on his laptop, and it says, Gardeneers, growing healthy futures. And I was like, that's cute. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, oh my goodness, my friend actually co-founded an organization. I think you guys should connect, it would be the perfect fit. And so I was just like, okay, like I was in school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then I learned more about the organization, what they were doing, where they are, and it was just centered in all of the things that were important to me.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, that's fresh. So let's string this along to the DAO. You guys are new members to the DAO. What do you think? Like, what's your expectation? I guess you can say about it, and your interpretation of what the DAO is and what it could be for you as a tool.
Like, do you want me to do it here?
Just out of sheer experience, I think just with like Big Green has been a partner with Gardeneers previously for a very long time. We are still fairly new to the DAO. I love the resource share component of some of the work. Being able to come to conferences like this, you're able to meet people that have similar missions, but different budgets, different perspective, capacity as organizations, and just being able to learn from each other, right? Like you were saying earlier, like you're not in this alone, and someone can say something that like sparks curiosity and or you're like, dang, like, I didn't even think of this. How can I do it differently and take it home to the important work that I'm already doing in my space? And then funding opportunities, right? I feel like sometimes we are all, it has been traditionally set up to where we're all competing for the same funds. But when it's focused around community and working together, I feel like you are able then to spread that further, and then those dollars go further. Like there is money out there for all of us, right? And we're all doing such great work, and frankly, such different work at the same time, that when we're able to get exposed to those different opportunities, it just makes our community stronger.
And I wanted to like add to that as well, especially when we listened to you this morning about how we're coming together. And I think it's the most simplest thing, but it's the feeling of not feeling you're alone. Like everyone kind of has similar minds and the same problems here.
It's not an island.
Yeah, it's not an island. I think that's so reassuring, especially like I'm so excited to go back home and just build these new relationships and see how we can grow from there. So that's kind of like how I've been inspired so far.
I also just have obviously the experience of just like as a woman of color, I love being in spaces like this and looking around and seeing people who look like me who are
There's
doing the
women
work.
of color on the wall right
You
now.
know, yeah. But you don't always necessarily see that in the larger urban agricultural landscape. So coming to things like this and then being able to connect in that community in that way, obviously is just so important. And we have things to say, important things that I think that I love being able to share with like my
Like what?
I think that we have a unique perspective in the way that we have to sometimes maneuver conversations. We were talking about funding opportunities, things that work and don't work. In one of our breakout groups, a big thing was like, what is something that hasn't worked in partnerships? And for me, I was saying it is being bold enough to advocate for my youth and for my programming and saying that I don't need everybody's money. I think that sometimes, like I had an incident where a volunteer group came out and they were like, and it was a corporation, they're like, yeah, you know, we're so excited, we can't wait to do the work, but we want to bring armed security to the garden. And they're like, oh, because we know the communities that you're in. And I was just so caught off guard and like taken aback by that. And I was like, you know what? No, like we don't need that. The things that my youth and my community have to go through, walking to a grocery store, walking to school, feeling space and love and accepted in their communities, if that is not an experience that you are willing to wholeheartedly take on, then like that's a partnership that we don't need.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
Not all money is good money.
Not all money is good money.
That's powerful. Powerful. Well, yo, we're coming to our time limit. Man, thank you so much for sitting down and sharing some words with me. You know, my hope is that we continue to talk with one another, especially over the platforms that we have available to us, like Slack, and well, anything really. Like we can think outside of the box. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you to feel like we're cornered into boxes to communicate. Like I'll give you my cell phone number. You want to call me up one day or whatever? Like let's shoot the stuff, especially when it comes to our educators across the country, especially in Chicago, and knowing the history there with education and all the hardships that you guys are facing. Because we're dealing with the same thing here in Denver, and maybe we can make some magic together in some form or fashion. So we have two amazing Gardeneers represent.
That's right.
Let me hear them names again.
My name is Joseph.
And I'm Paris.
Check it out. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you ask one more question?
Oh,
One more.
what was the last
And I can
question?
cut it in. Where can we find you?
Oh God, yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, here we go.
Okay, yes.
One of the most important things, and I totally like
We
left
gotta
it
get
on the
into
table.
it.
Right.
My bad. Yeah. So, how can we get in contact with you?
Okay, you can get in contact with us. Our biggest platforms are definitely our website, gardeneers.org. That's where you can find many opportunities to get involved. The biggest one to donate. But you can also explore more of our mission and our story throughout the last 10 years. And then our Instagram is Gardeneers Chicago.
And
we
that's
actually
GARDENEERS.
Oh, you heard it right here on the power plant. We'll see you next time.